So we have to go back to the Word of God, and we have to listen to Jesus. Today's Gospel focuses on the beginning of the public ministry of Jesus. According to St. Luke, Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, where he taught in the synagogues. He became a popular preacher among his people. Then he went to his own place where he grew up. But his presence was not appreciated. Instead, his people threatened his life, the one that would proclaim liberty to captives, recovery of sight to the blind, and freedom to the oppressed. He was not kind of the Messiah his people was expecting. We see that we are again in the season of election, discernment. Once again, we see a lot of things in Facebook, and we see that it's flooded of all news. And we see, how do we recognize this news? Or how do we recognize these things that we read? We see there are half-truths, there are lies, and there are deceptions. How do we see the truth when two media network will present two different facts? How do we see when our friends gives their opinion to different opinion? How do we discern? In today's gospel, help us to realize our own context, that we have to listen. We have to listen from our heart so that we understand the Word of God. So we have to go back to the Word of God, and we have to listen to Jesus. The challenge for us in our discernment, in our listening to the message of God, is that how do we able to recognize the half-truths, the lies, and deception? We will only know this by our discernment, by our clear, informed conscience. And we'll discern, of course. And we have to see with our own model. Our model is Jesus. In Jesus, go back to the Word. Go back to the Word of God. And when we go back to the Word of God, we listen to His Word. And the challenge for us is to act it out. To do what you heard from the Word of God. And in this Sunday, it's always challenging us to go back to the Word. Today's Sunday is we know that we highlight with our Bible, no? With the Word of God. How are we as Christian? How are we as Catholic? The Word of God or the Bible is still relevant to us? Or we are just putting our Bible in the altar and yet so dusty, and for the entire year, nobody is reading it. So it's a challenge for us to be able to go back to the Word of God every day, in a single day.